Hello travelers, and welcome to the Horror Green Book, the channel that takes you from coast to coast and con to con. I am your travel guide, Brendan, and today we are here in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the Tulsa Horror Con, brought to you by the same fine people that put on the OKC Horror Con back in Oklahoma City. You check out that video here. I'll make sure to put up the link. But this is my first ever time in Tulsa. This is their first time throwing a horror con in Tulsa, so I had to come out and show out, guys. You know, there's going to be plenty of great people in the house. It's Friday the 13th. I got my Jason gear on, so it's a great weekend to celebrate. Tons of horror celebrities in the house, so we're gonna go in, check out panels, check out vendors. You know how we do it on this channel, guys. So stay tuned and let's check out all the spooky stuff. Okay, travelers, this weekend's event is held at the Cox Business Center. It looks like a very nice civic center or conference center, so we're gonna go check it out. It's gonna be a fun one, guys. I can already feel it. Okay, we have signage here to direct us in the right direction. All right, we gotta go in for check-in, guys. Okay guys, we have made it in and now people are flowing in. Doors have been open maybe 30 minutes, so we're looking forward to a great Tulsa Horror Con. We got Michael Myers hanging back there. Of course, we got the merch table, and of course everyone's in there lining up. A lot of fun being had, so it's gonna be a great one. Okay guys, we're flowing in and there is a lot of space here. We're gonna go through whatever vendors and cool stuff we see, guys. You know how we do it, so let's go check it out at Tulsa Horror Con. Wow, look at these cool gruesome hearts here. Nice to decorate your very nice apartment or a house or a bathroom. Way to actually grab some people's attention there that visit you for sure. Hey there guys, we are back at a familiar booth here for Gothic Gardens candles, the leading coffin candle, guys, and they have so many cool things. You have this blood bath candle here, all types of cool decorative things. Oh, check this one out here. Oh, that's a very cool and dope idea. We have some tea light skull holders there. Alright, love seeing familiar faces in the vendors that I see from convention to convention. So that's always great to know that business is doing well and they're keeping things going strong. So guys, we are going to make sure to support them at Gothic Gardens Candles, guys. Check out the other things that they have here. Oh, I love this part here. If we break it, we cry. That's it, exactly. So you're gonna go ahead and make sure to buy that, guys. So again, if you're interested, you want to see more with Gothic Gardens Candles, you can check them out right there. Say hello to Pam for me and tell them that the Horror Green Book sent you. Guys, we are at the table of dearly departed decor. Awesome products, guys. This makes for very cool and unique artwork that makes, for amazing statement pieces. It's really cool and very affordable, guys. That's one of the great things about going to cons, finding very cool, unique things and items that could be like great gifts. So like if you're someone that knows me, you would know items like these would make for a wonderful present that I would find somewhere in the house to hang up. Like, check this one out. Like, look how awesome that looks, guys. And only $75. That is very cool, guys. So if you're someone that is into the macabre, you're into your oddities, bones, repurposing very cool things into wearable art, such as rings. You know, you have hair clips, earrings, necklaces. Guys, the list goes on and on, travelers, and even bookmarks here. So that's very dope to see, guys. So if you are interested and you want more information, you can check it out right there and tell Courtney hello. I am Rascal. Check out this very dope artwork, guys. I can barely find the words, guys. This is like so sick. I mean, if you're someone that's looking for very cool artwork, hey, this business definitely has you set up, because I mean, if you're looking for something that's eye-catching, that's, you know, very, very cool, it stands out, and variety of different sizes, can fit all types of different rooms, those pieces are awesome. But if you're wanting something a little bit smaller, a little bit affordable, you know, a little bit more affordable, I should say, you have the prints here. And those are very good prices. He told me $30, and hey, for artwork like this, hey, that is a major deal. And let's just say if you can't afford that, that's where you're even in more luck, because you have sticker packs here for $10, which is a very, very cool idea. And that's one of the fun things about the conventions around this time of year. A lot of the vendors have a variety of merchandise and a variety of different price points for people to give to loved ones for the holidays. But guys, if you're interested in more information, we got a QR code. You know what to do. Go ahead, show some love. Alright guys, we are here at the table here for Cosmic Horror Monthly, and they're going to tell us a little bit about why they are here at Tulsa Horror Con. They have a very cool offer here, as you can see, a free Cosmic Horror magazine, so how could you turn it down, guys? So could you tell us a little bit about Cosmic Horror Magazine?
Yeah, well, it's a magazine of short stories that are, I mean, the easiest way to describe it is it's kind of like Lovecraftian,
yes.
Cosmic horror and weird fiction. We've been publishing for 5 years, and we do a new print magazine every month.
Awesome, awesome, guys. And you know we love to support horror literature here on the Horror Green Book, guys, so check it out. So those of you who are fans of H.P. Lovecraft, you know we love our cosmic horror here, so that's some awesome imagery, guys. You gotta love that. You know, those things are just so terrible, our mind just cannot fathom it. It just makes it melt. So guys, check it out. So if you are into those types of spooky vibes here, make sure to check out Cosmic Horror Monthly. Okay, travelers, there you go. If you want to try Cosmic Horror Monthly magazine, there you have it. There's the QR code. Just scan it and provide your email, and you'll receive the digital magazine. Guys, we are at the booth here of Dead Dave Designs, and if you're familiar with any of my videos, you know that he is a vendor that goes to a ton of the conventions that I go to that are local to my area, and he always has an abundance of very, very cool, you know, spooky things. I mean, just abundance. I mean, it's just like a mini one-stop shop at a convention. You have like all types of things, like home stuff, you know, you have coasters, you'll have like bags, you'll have like figures, you have all types of clocks here. These clocks are freaking amazing, very cool. I mean, all types of products here, and he even has like mystery gift bags here. So you gotta make sure to check out Dave, guys. If you want to, you have 2 QR codes. You have one right there, and we have another one to the Instagram. Check them out. Vintage Toy Mall in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. All types of very cool horror-related items. We have a Kandarian dagger right there. We have a Necronomicon. All types of things that catch the eye, guys. Very cool. And another thing that I love is when people have a storefront to take advantage of as well. So guys, make sure to holler at them. Oh, there's one in Broken Arrow and one in Jinx. So make sure to go and check them out. As you can see, if you're in the area, they have a ton of cool things to check out. So if they have all of this stuff just right here, just imagine the stuff that they have on a regular basis. So make sure to check them out. Vintage Toy Mall. So if you're a fan of pop art, you know, those designs that are just so iconic, that just really make a complete awesome statement, we have it here at Anything Creative Studio. All types of very cool pieces, and incredibly affordable too, guys. Like this Lost Boys one for $20. Those are very, very nice, guys. As you'll see with the theme with a lot of the vendors that you'll see at this event, They make all types of perfect gifts for friends and family. Like I said, if you have a buddy of yours that's into horror, going to a horror convention around this time of year, you can strike gold. You can find some really creative things for the horror fan that has everything. Like check out that The Shining one there with Jack Torrance. That's pretty sick, guys. I can't deny those are really cool. I may have to come back home with one of those. Those are absolutely sick. That Carrie one there. And even the fans of Adam West's Batman got art back there. I mean, those are very cool, guys. These are some very unique ones that you wouldn't mind possibly having, you know, your favorite horror celebrities signed. So guys, very, very nice. Even these clipboards, check that out, $10. Very cool. A chair. John Michel Basquiat will be very, very proud. So guys, you can check them out right there. Got the QR code, all the information in regards to email and such. Anything Creative Studio, get some very awesome art in your life. Guys, we are here at Spooky, Nifty, and Crafty. Check out what we have here. We have some very cool hooded towels, so you can get a good view of what they look like here. Very cool. So you can just get that nice and warm and snuggled feel while you're at home and hanging out, watching some of your favorite horror films. And check out like all the different designs here. We have some Oogie Boogie over there, some Jack Skeleton, all of our favorites, guys. So we are nice and covered, literally and figuratively, here at this very, very awesome booth here, guys. And we also have very cool scary pillows. So, you know, if you want to add to the cool home decor, very cool designs. I like that one there. Very sick, guys. Love it, love it. So all types of very cool ones there, even for you Hocus Pocus fans. And speaking of Hocus Pocus and Disney, there's something else that I saw that was very cool. So I know more than a few of you are fans of the mouse. So we have some very cool ears here, guys. That's very nice. So if you ever go to Mickey's Not So Scary, then you can actually represent right there with some very cool, unique ears. And we have other cool things such as like cool little magnets and like coasters and all types of bags and wallets. All types of awesome products, guys. And like I said, as I'm going to say with a lot of these vendors, very cool items that you can make for stocking stuffers around this time of year for friends and family. Hey, they got you covered, guys. It doesn't get much better than that. So if you want to have more information, you can find Spooky, Nifty, and Crafty at all of these places right here: Facebook, TikTok, IG, and Etsy. So make sure to go through and say hello and find all some cool stuff. All right, and we are here at the table for Trick or Treat Studios. You guys know what it is. We have this awesome Billy puppet there. Got some Goosebumps masks. I'm really looking forward to next month because I will be at the Halloween and Party Expo. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of the new items that will be in store for 2025. But guys, that's always a treat to see Trick or Treat Studios items here. And we have some cool pins here. Very nice. The Gremlins ones, Ghostbuster stuff, you know, they represent for the holidays. Got some puzzles here. And this awesome Billy right here. So guys, you know what it is with Trick or Treat Studios. Oh guys, check that out, that super slab there. Very dope, guys. So you know what to do when you see Trick or Treat Studios. You gotta go ahead and show them some love.
So,
how's your night?
my night has been great.
Yay! Is everybody great?
Woo!
I mean, it could be. I mean, you could be getting chased by Mike Myers.
Yeah,
Or Jason. I mean, we all know things like that.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Woo!
So this is, we're we started something new a couple of cons ago, so let you know we are live. So
We're live?
we are live.
Okay, I'm so excited. We're live. Here we go.
We used, you know, with everything that goes on today's time, we usually record, but we started, when we first started doing this, we were live, and then we decided to go to
Really
record.
live?
And now we're going back live. So, thanks to Nightfall, Tara, if any of y'all have ever been there.
That fall. Has anybody been there to the haunt? Yeah, those are my friends. Yeah, it's Jameson. You've been there? Oh, okay. Well, you'll have to check it out.
Have you been there? It is.
I have been there.
It's unbelievable how.
Yeah, it's spectacular.
It is. But okay, so what have you been doing lately?
You know, hanging out with Art the Clown. No. So it's been busy. I was fortunate that I worked with the Terrifier guys. Thank you. Terrifier 3, amazing. And I did a new movie with them called Stream. So excited. Stream is getting a lot of love, and I was just with the director last weekend, and he's, look, I'm gonna tell you a secret, okay? Let's just keep it with us, okay, guys? Shh. Hi, welcome. We love you. I have to say about the Terrifier guys one thing. They are the nicest people in the world. And what's truly beautiful and amazing to me is when great things happen to great people. They are loving and humble and kind, and that's just a beautiful thing to see in people. And they make movies because they want to make movies, and they're passionate about making movies, and there's nothing more exciting than to work with folks like that. So thank you for watching the films. I appreciate it. I know they certainly do, and it takes our whole community to stick together, and we did it!
Woo! Maybe a question or so, but I'm going to let things people ask everything. So I have a question that I've noticed a lot, and is it practically once a scary movie, always a scary movie for actors? Because a lot of times it seems like that's what they, and the community is unbelievable. I mean, we started doing horror cons thanks to Rod.
Thank you, Rod. Chandler, we love you. Wherever you are. What? I didn't even say that. Rod, say that because I love you so much. Rod is a perfect example of great things happening for great people because this is a family. This is love. Oh my God, I love him. He knows how much I love him. And, you know, it's just, again, the movies, the horror movies are fantastic, and I love that we're all into them, but we've transcended the films. We are a family, and we are in it together, and it's so beautiful just to connect with each other. So again, thank you, my gratitude, and I'm so happy we found each other. It's been the greatest part of my life. Thank you. Sure.
Well,
I'm sorry, get back to what you were saying.
I'm just, you know, thanks to Rod. Rod did actually introduce us to horror cons, and, you know, to see the love and actually the community is unbelievable compared to, I mean, we've been to many Comic Cons and did panels on a lot of Comic Cons for several years anyway. The horror cons are so much fun. Not to get mad at anything.
Just saying.
They are a lot of fun. The celebs are just nice, no matter what. I mean, besides, you got to walk by.
A lot of love. There's a lot of love.
He's scary. Some of them are scary. You know?
Who's? I'll protect you. Okay? I have my beehive and my bow and arrow. Who's at the door?
So, who wants to start it off with some questions?
Who's ready?
Who's ready?
Here we go.
All right.
I love you. I love you. What's your first name? I love everything about you. Yes, you were raised beautifully. Okay, Jason? Thank you, parents. We adore you.
What was your favorite role that
Oh, Jason Frederick. What's my favorite role? That's like asking me who's my favorite kid. I'll tell you later. I have to start in the beginning. Angela, to me, she's like my baby. I've watched over 40-something years. I've watched her grow up, and it was such a great time for me. And making that film was something that I cherish for always. So it would have to be Angela in Sleepaway Camp. And I'm so anti-bullying. So for me, the fact that that movie is all about that means more to me than anything. And what I say in all my panels, let's all be kind to each other. That's so important. And now I'm doing something where I want us to all make a promise with each other that we take care of one another and we make sure that we give love towards the next person. And thank you so much for your beautiful question. I appreciate it.
Woo!
I know his favorite. His name is Uncle Master. I just know it.
I love that. Let me see that shirt. Yeah! You are amazing, Uncle Nasty on that shirt. We love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Who else has a question? Austin, let's go. Come on. You got a question. Whatever you do.
Oh, Jameson. This is my friend Jameson. Everybody give it up for Jameson.
Was there any similarities, mental-wise, with the Star concept that would be similar to the character? You know how it's supposed to be voiced?
Well, it's an awesome question. So I was madly in love with him, and we dated for about 12 hours. And I just thought he was the greatest thing in the world. And I called him the brooder on set because he was always brooding and he was the bad guy. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so in love with you. And yes, he's completely temperamental and he has that kind of amazing personality that's passionate and exciting and creative. He's a musician. And I always want to give love and, just so much gratitude to him because we were in that together, our first film. And again, I just adored him. It was so much fun making that film with him. So, and again, he was my little boyfriend on the set. So, go Jonathan Tiersten!
All right. Yeah.
Do I go to the movie theater? Oh my gosh, I live for movies. I'm watching movies all the time. My family loves film. My kids love horror movies. I'll be at a convention, they're like, oh, can I go see, Evil Dead Rising? And I'm like, yeah, go see it, So movies to me are just like an extension of our life, and it's fun to immerse yourself in that sort of fantasy of life. And certainly with horror movies, we get to ride that roller coaster and live the adrenaline rush, from those films. So I love film. Can I curse? No kidding. Fucking great, yeah. Look, I just think we all have great taste. Horror movies have been suppressed and sort of squashed for so long. I mean, I started in film in 1982, and I watched the change, and I watched it in so many ways, have its sort of resurgence and the ebbs and flows. And I just think we finally, you know, so to speak, we've come out. We're here and we're here to stay. And I think watching what Terrifier has done has just opened the door for more horror movies to come and make their beautiful way into the theaters. But I think we should, supporting all movies is great. I love all genres, and I don't ever want to see film go away in theaters. Like Joe Bob says, the drive-in will never die, and neither will theaters. So we'll continue to support them.
Woo!
All right.
So I just found out recently about the category, the thing where it's chainsaw awards for this year, and I just thought that was the coolest thing that now they have this category that's Tulsa Rose movie, and
You're gonna make me cry.
I literally just found out of this, and it's got to present it to yourself. So not even a question.
Thank you so much. I am right. I appreciate that. Thank you. That was out of nowhere. I got a call from the amazing Phil Noble, who's the editor-in-chief of Fangoria. He had done an article just kind of joking around, like, oh, you've made so many movies, like 170 movies this year. And I was like, no. And he said, you know what? Wouldn't it be fun if we gave you an award? And I'm just shocked that I'm here and that I get to be a part of this amazing genre that I love. And I get to be with all of you. Truthfully, I was very insecure my whole life, like almost crippling. And when I finally found conventions, I felt like I found a family that embraced me. So I'm really grateful to all of you for accepting me. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I recently watched Victor Crowley for the first time. We're comedic gold in it.
Yes.
So I was just wondering if you prefer more of the crazy funny or crazy scary kind of roles. Which one is more fun for you?
Thank you so much. And I love Adam Green to death. Like, he is one of my favorite people in the world. And making that movie was also one of the greatest joys of my life. I'm such a Hatchet fan, so when he called and said, like, I'm making this movie, and I wrote this part for you, you know, like the crybaby that I am, I got down on my knees. I was like, I would serve you coffee, I love you. But Kathleen was such a fun role, and I do love comedy. And I learned a lot from a guest who's coming tomorrow, Dave Sheridan. We met on that set. He was hilarious to work with, and I definitely love doing my horror comedy, but doing my horror villain might be my favorite. Because you get to, like, you know, just, it's cathartic. You get everything out. You get to yell and scream and run and chase, and it's just, making these movies is like nothing else. It's a family just like us, and you enjoy the creative process of learning and growing and experiencing what making movies is about. And I've always dreamt that since I was young, and this has just been a joy. So both are fantastic. Hi.
Hello. What is your favorite Christmas movie, and what is your favorite Christmas horror movie?
Ooh. Okay, my favorite Christmas movie is Elf.
Yeah.
I have it on the loop right now. Okay, just saying. I know everybody's like, I love Christmas. There's something in the air, the energy, the vibe, the trees, the fun, the hats. And my favorite Christmas horror movie is definitely Silent Night. Deadly Night is just up there. I mean, there's Black Christmas also. Like, I have a poster in my hallway, just saying. I'm, you know, a nut for anything horror, but certainly Christmas horror. And now my favorite is Terrifier 3.
Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you. you?
Yes.
So what's your favorite subgenre of horror, if you had to?
I'm a home invasion girl. I love, what's that? A real quick. I know. I love horror, but home invasion to me is so scary because, I know I've thought about it 3 times, because that shit could happen. Like somebody, I'm sorry, but The Strangers, we've all seen The Strangers. Damn, that master shot in the kitchen is the most simplistic moment in a horror movie, and yet the most traumatizing. No one's chasing you with a chainsaw, no one is screaming in your face, but the shot of her in the kitchen and he's there, that is horror at its most scary. Yeah, it's like, I love art, getting everybody real good in a bathroom, in a bedroom, but give me that kind of home invasion. Has anyone seen Funny Games?
Oh yeah, both.
Ooh, Naomi Watts. I'm a little bit in love with her. That movie's crazy shit too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a home invasion person. Thank you.
The Strangers is absolutely one of the most horrifying movies I've ever seen.
Right? It cuts you to the core.
I mean, you got all these sci-fi style horror movies. That is real. I mean, that can happen to anybody out there. I mean, and if that doesn't mess with you, I mean, it messed with me.
Then please talk to me later because you've got nothing.
I'm gonna tell myself, okay. I think the last horror movie I watched was Since the Strangers was. I think I watched The Terrifier 1. I haven't watched the other 2.
No, that's okay.
And
I'm just gonna beat you later.
It's funny and stuff. Anyway, because we met and all that before, so I watched it. Anyway, maybe the Silent Night, the one that on Netflix. Yeah, that was the last one I probably watched since The Strangers, because it has literally messed me up.
Yeah. Some of them really do. Some mess you up and you're just like we could go around like that. We all have our own horror movie that's like, that just did some serious damage. Yeah. For me, it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. I was like, oh no, you know, it's crazy.
Watching the old 80s and 90s was great. I can still watch all of them. They really don't bother me. The Strangers did, and since then I haven't really. But you know, in this genre here, it is amazing how, I mean, like she was talking about some of your stuff there, and I'm thinking, how many of you watch just about every horror movie that comes out?
Shudder. Do we all have Shudder? There's so many great films on Shudder. I'm obsessed with Shudder. Such great movies. Like, ugh.
Do you
And
think,
good shows too.
Do you think COVID, when COVID happened and people were going to more streaming, do you think that has brought out horror films
You know,
and made it?
That's a really good point, and yes, I do. I absolutely do. And think about it, when Terrifier came to theaters, part 2, in November 2021. No, was it 22? But it was like right after we did COVID, we were ready to go into the theaters, and it was like, oh, and here's Terrifier. And we all went, oh, I'm joining that universe. Yeah. So I think COVID sort of brought us into like a whole other, you know, just streaming because we're home, and then.
I think everybody was scared. And what?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, in the backpack.
Hey, I'm new to this whole horror movie thing. Hi, hello.
Hi.
How did you?
Stand up.
Yeah, hey, it's me. How did you get started in all this, and what was your first movie roles that you did?
So I started, and I wanted to be a musical theater actress. So
Can you sing?
No, I suck. I can't sing or dance to save my life.
Right.
My mom would say, "You can't carry a tune in a suitcase," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks." So I would, but I was trying. I went to dancing school, and there was a local manager who came in and said, "We have an audition." And I was like, 12, for a movie. And I was like, "Okay." And they're like, "We need a, flat-chested," it didn't work now. Big eyes, come meet the director. And I was like, "Okay." And I went in my overalls, and I was like, "How are you? Good to meet you." And he was like, "Oh my God, who is this? She's crazy." And it was the director of Sleepaway Camp. And we met, and we just connected, and got to know one another, and that was my first role in a movie. And it was so fun, but it changed my whole life. And I will forever be thankful because I get to be here. I cried in my room. I just told Christina Lee, who's like one of my best girlfriends, I'm like, she laughs at me because I'm so emotional. And I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to be here. And like, I'm crying in my room. She's like, shut the fuck up. I have never experienced anything but love and happiness. I have never had anything. People are like, what is it like, when you do cons? Like, I'm like, I have met my best, don't want to cry next, it's right here, my best friends in the world. And that's one of my bestest friends right there, Gigi, who's standing up, who drove from Dallas, and we met years ago at a show, just hanging out at a convention, and Chris Reinhardt over here, I met at OKC Horror Con, and just the greatest people, and Kaylee, who made this amazing book of the entire Sleepaway Camp, that I'm forever amazed at. You have no idea the illustration.
Oh, that's cool.
This is unbelievable to me, and I am so lucky. And I thank the stars above, and whatever you believe in, God, the universe, thank you for having me, because I sing and dance by myself, not public. Say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I maybe say it, can't say. Then I make it up by myself. I feel so happy. That was my musical interlude. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi.
Hi.
You're beautiful.
So are you?
Oh my gosh, thank you. I love you in pink.
Thank you. I'm getting selected. First of all, I wanted to say my mom introduced me to horror when I was very, very young.
I love your mom.
And she loves you. And this is how you know, because the first movie she insisted that I see when I was a kid was Sleepaway Camp.
Wow.
But
how old were you?
I was 5.
5.
That's good parenting. Great parenting.
My question is, being a part of such a big franchise, what is your favorite horror movie franchise?
I love a lot of them. I do love Friday the 13th. And I love all the Jasons there. I love Jason. But my number one is, my favorite horror movie is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. I'm obsessed with that movie. I found a 35mm print and brought it to my favorite theater in Ohio and flew there and watched it with like 300-person sold-out crowd, and we discussed it for about 5 hours afterwards. So that's because I love theater. I love the experience. 35mm, you can't, oh my gosh, compete with that. Beautiful. And just being with our horror community, there's nothing better than sitting in that audience, feeling it, and yes, cheering for it. It's amazing.
I tell my brother in 1988, give or take, I said, "Hey, what is this?" "Big." I said, "King, you're dead. You don't breathe." He knows this whole he's always had to do this. It makes him look powerful, but I always said, "You're dead. You're not supposed to be
Jason, breathing, right? Because Jason, wait, you're very right, because I was underwater the whole time. So if I had to breathe, oh man, CJ, you just opened a whole can of worms right there. Man, wow. There's many controversies in Friday the 13th. I mean, my Friday the 13th, when we start out, I mean, my gosh, I'm about to jump out the water, and the policeman's right there on the shore. He's like, "Are you okay?" And he puts his hand out, and he goes again, "Are you okay?" He's staring directly at me. Now, what the hell? What in the Sam Hill happened there? Because that parenting. No, but I mean, I'm saying in terms of the storyline, was it a dream? Was it all in? Who knows? You know, this is one of the things. And you think about part 6, Tommy McLaughlin. Let's hear it for Tommy McLaughlin. Maybe some of you don't know, I'm a musician. Tommy McLaughlin's also a musician. He had rock hits, and if you ever want to see some great music, he's a great musician. But the idea that he had initially, I love the idea, because you know, I'm a hippie, and the idea was kind of like a bunch of hunters come to Camp Crystal Lake, and you know, Jason gets pissed off, and then initially, I don't know if people know this, Tommy's original idea was, you know, he's trying to get them, but they have guns, okay? So then in the final sequence, they were gonna have CJ all Rambo'd out. He was gonna come out with just loaded to the, with guns, okay? But that got voted down for some reason. I guess Jason doesn't. What's the story?
Understand about Rambo.
Yeah, what's the story?
Yeah, Rambo was a copycat.
No, but
Tom had some great conceptual ideas. One of the things he wanted to have some humor in part 6, which he was able to implement. But Frank Mancuso, who we both worked for, had said, as long as you don't make fun of Jason. Tom McLaughlin, right? And Tom McLaughlin is also a big Universal horror fan, as I am, because of our age brackets. And so he threw some of the Frankenstein in there, got a little bit of that Costello in there, so to speak. Think about it. Got the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Alice Cooper, in there doing some music. You got the kids in there, doing a little bit of comedy. And there's only 2 swear words in part 6, and there's absolutely no nudity. You know, so I was able to make it was still rated R because of the blood, where today, if that camera, you know, was 35mm back then, in those days they'd cut it, drop it on the ground, and sweep it away, like in the movies, it goes to the garbage. And today everything is digitalized. You can make a great director's cut. Some of those kills were friggin' amazing, with the blood, the heart pumping out blood out of the artery and stuff. But all of it had to hit the ground because it would have to be rated X to be able to get to the theater. So that's why it's rated R. All on the ground back in those days. Everything was cut, snipped, and dropped in the garbage bag. Boom, boom, boom. So it's unfortunate because there's a lot of, even going back to his, that Tom Savini had done that. I'm sure they could put it in today from a digitalized perspective. We got some really good kills with more granular detail than what we saw. But hey, we're still talking about it 3 decades later.
Yeah, the initial Friday the 13th, Tom Savini. Let's hear it for Tom Savini. You think about how much Tom was responsible for in terms of, okay, being one of the great maestros of special effects. When I was a little kid...
Did you say sexual effects?
I said special effects. That might be true as well, I mean, from what I witnessed. But, I would say, what an amazing experience for me to be 14 years old. And so they had created a studio for Tom and Tasso in the woods in Weston, Connecticut. And there he had the bust of Bela Lugosi and Vincent Price and all the greats. And he had a pet chinchilla as well. He also had, there was decapitated heads and severed limbs and weapons and explosive devices. He also had a mini bike and a BB gun. So it was like so much fun. It was like working with the Cheech and Chong of horror. So for 4 months we did that. And so every time we put on the makeup, it was about 4 hours of of sitting in the chair and being patient and getting ready. How long did it take for you to get in your get up?
Before I went to the mass, it was about a 3.5 hour session, multiple pieces of blacking it out. But looking backwards, one thing, we're talking about veterans. Everybody knows Tom Savini is also a veteran. I don't know if you knew that. And I'm pretty confident when I say this, late 60s, Vietnam era. If I recall, and I could be corrected, I mean, I'm pretty confident, he was a combat photographer. Now, I want you to think about what I said. It's very unfortunate to have taken pictures in combat of what you see, but now you go to do one type of makeup and special effects of things that you most likely had seen and or taken pictures of, unfortunately.
Yes, absolutely.
Think about that a little bit. So, I mean, it's kind of unusual, but he's also a Vietnam era vet like myself. So, and you may not know that Steve Dash was also a Vietnam era vet.
I
In the
didn't know.
mid-60s. He was very quiet about it, but he was also in the military. So, kind of interesting that some of us that have the fortune to be soldiers.
Well, thank you for your service,
Yes.
CJ.
Woo!
You know, Tom did relate to me, you know, because being a kid, I guess I kind of started asking him some questions, and he, like my dad, didn't want to talk about it, so I understood that. There was definitely some incidents which he told me about, which I will not relate here, that were absolutely terrifying, and affected him in a lot of ways. Has anyone, it's a movie called The Prowler. Do you know The Prowler out there? This is Tom Savini, and there's an amazing scene, there's an amazing pool sequence. You know that sequence in the swimming pool, just amazing. But of course, in that one, isn't the antagonist, the monster wears a combat fatigues, doesn't he? Which caused a great deal of controversy, and probably why we don't see it as much as perhaps we should. But maybe that experience led to that. Nice hat, by the way.
And then we don't really need you if you want to go take a break. Anyway.
No, he's here.
But if you take a look at part 6, you may or may not think about it for a second now. What I am wearing is Vietnam era fatigue shirt, Vietnam era pistol belt, Vietnam era 18-inch jungle machete, Vietnam era combat boots, and the Vietnam era khaki shorts or pants that are just really dirty and tore up. So really take a look, and then the dart holders of World War II, 30 caliber holder for clips. So when you really take a look at Jason, and you kind of go, wow, there's a lot of military stuff on this guy.
So fry my feet for a couple of garfish. I did not know that. And so in other words, I did notice such a change in the costume, and it became militarized. I did not realize it was really from Vietnam. It seems like that's something that Tommy would
Everything that I'm wearing, because I do the wardrobe photo op sometimes, and I have the wardrobe for the movie. Everything is, you can look right at it. It's booty green Vietnam era shirt. You know, you still buy them at the surplus stores.
Who knew?
So who knew? But for those people that come up to me, they go, oh, where do I find a shirt? Well, the best place is I tell them where to go get it, and make sure you got the 7 holes in the chest. Make sure you got everything perfect if you're going to match it up as good as possible. So, but it's interesting when you look through it. I always tell people, part 6, of course, is my favorite. But, you know, I get to have the opening come back to life like Frankenstein, right? I got a rock and roll Hall of Famer doing the I get the James Bond opening, how cool is that? And I get to wear a Batman utility belt. Think about
James Bond, Batman.
You know, so think about that now when you look at this and go, weird. I never thought about it with all that stuff. But yeah, I'm walking around the Batman utility belt. I got knives, blades, darts. Think about it. That's Batman.
I can freely say this because just you're here, CJ, that if you look at all this other Friday the 13th, not all of them really work. Some of them have sort of a clunky script and storyline, but I think part 6 really works. Can I get a witness here? Exactly. Yeah. Part 6 works. People have so much fun with it, and there is some humor there. There's a lot of fun there. That Winnebago
Costello, because it's a chance when the two little boys are looking at each other after they died underneath the bed. And so, what were you going to be when you grew up? Sounds like something a 10-year-old kid would say. You know, but that's them talking back with the little girl praying. You know, when Jason steps over her and looks down, it kind of reminds you of Frankenstein. Oh yeah, the flower, the river. Unfortunately, if you throw it in the river, I think it should float. But you know, there's some similarities, and that's Tommy the Plot.
No, totally. Yeah.
He also had the end of it where he wanted to introduce Jason's father, Elias Voorhees, which was taken off, but that was still part of the storyboard that he had created way back when.
When you talk about lost footage, they could have created so many different, I mean, my gosh, you know, we got to talk about part 3 with the great Richard Brooker, because there was an entire segment where they take the mask off, and they had unmasked Jason doing all kinds of stuff, and I think that was at least a minute of that was taken out, and as you say, just ladies and gentlemen, Marty has a question.
Yeah.
Interesting is you kill a friggin' fly on TV now, somebody will freak out.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I mean, if it's intentional, in part 6, there's a dead animal on the road. The car drives by it. You know, it wasn't just an animal that had been hit apparently, and it worked really well with the car driving by. But I just know in today's sensitivity, you know, and somebody sees you hit a bug on a table and it's in the film, you killed a roach. What are you? No, I just don't sleep with roaches.
Yes. I want to ask, with you being a musician, I want to ask, when you were filming for part 1, what bands or what music were you listening to at that time? And for CJ, I wanted to ask, for some of us who have never had the pleasure of meeting him, how is Alice Cooper in real life?
Well, when I was on the set of Friday the 13th, and they found out that I was a musician, because it was shot in New Jersey, so everybody was from New York. And one of the lighting guys, and also Irwin Keys, who played the guys moving up, and they were all like, okay, they had this one pickup truck, and they had an 8-track tape player in the pickup truck. And you know, on the set of the movie, there's always time, hours go by. So they would play, I remember, the Ramones, Patti Smith, the Sex Pistols, the Damned, and that 8-track tape player, which is great. Remember 8-track, and then in the middle of the song, kind of comes over. Yes, and here's another thing for you. There was a famous musician who, during the time we filmed Friday the 13th, lived near the set, and he would show up very often to hang out with them. I think he might have been doing them good. And that was Lou Reed.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He would visit the set of Friday the 13th. Tell us about Alice.
That's like I said earlier, you know, one of the 4 things is I get to, you know, part 6 has got to go down because of the Hall of Fame, Alice Cooper, and how iconic is that kid. Going back to the old story, 1973, I was 16. Candy, Hot Date, first concert was Alice Cooper.
Nice.
My name.
Nice.
Nice. First concert, my whole life.
Very cool.
And then in 86, I worked with them. First date, I still remember Alice Cooper, welcome to my name. So I get to see Alice once a year on a regular basis. We'll do a convention together. I'll put a full wardrobe on and take pictures with the bands and Alice, which is tremendous. He's the same as he was today back in 1986 when I worked with him then. Personality, spontaneous, spunky, give or take 44 years sober now.
definitely.
His wife, my wife met him, very down to earth and stuff. I believe he's still in Phoenix, Arizona, right outside. Great guy. He just no, he's down. He cleaned up, like I said, 40-some years ago. Oh, he's touring, yeah, and just floating straight into the Oh, he's been touring everywhere.
Nice.
There's people that I know that say there was a show 2 months ago. Oh yeah, Alice is going to be here next week. We're going to see the concert. It's amazing. And he's 74, maybe?
Crazy.
You know, I mean, him and the whole crew, Johnny Depp and all those women, all around there.
Nice, nice, awesome. Thank you so much, fellas.
His daughter's a guitar player too. His daughter is awesome. Playing golf, I don't know scratch player, but scratch golfer. So I heard that's really good.
Very good, yeah. Okay, travelers, we are at the table here for As Above, So Below. You will recognize this awesome table from the OKC Horror Con and also fun conventions such as the Houston Horror Film Fest. I love my, horror convention family. You meet so many great familiar faces that you'll see at future cons. So you have awesome tarot cards, very, very cool. You got some sage sticks, some feathers there. You even have a lament configuration right there, guys. You have a little bit of everything there. You got some incense, gnarly rings here, a little bit of everything. And also some very cool mugshot postcards. Gotta love it. So it has a little bit of everything that you could possibly need here at As Above, So Below. So travelers, if you want to find out more in regards to the business, you can find more information on Facebook and Instagram at Above Below. Okay. There you go, guys. So check them out. Okay, travelers, another fun thing about coming to these amazing conventions are the abundance of cool treats that you can have. And with this one, it's a little bit different because you can make a little bit of extra fun here. Like, check out these brownie mixes. It's pretty cool, guys. So those of you that like to get into the kitchen and come up with some amazing treats for you and your family, they have you covered right here. And I am at the booth here of Dead Darling Boutique, guys. That's very awesome. And the business is located in Tulsa, so it is a local business. Very cool. And as you can see, you can get your items shipped to you. So we love to see that on the channel. So guys, you know where to go. You got TikTok, you got Instagram, Facebook, you got the email, the website. Hey, there's no excuse, guys. All types of horror themed concoctions. We love that, guys. Let's check out some more stuff that we have here. We have a deal here with a boo basket. Check it out. So you got like drink mix, brownie mix, you have baking pans, you have ocean water puffs. Guys, look, check it out. That is very cool. And as I said, these make very good gifts for loved ones and, for that horror fan in your life. You gotta check it out, guys. We love mac and cheese here, so there you got some boomstick mac and cheese. That's green chili and ghost pepper. Oh, that sounds so amazing, guys. So check it out. We have all types of different ones there. The Winchester dinner kit. I was just literally thinking about how I need to actually check out the Winchester Mansion one of these days. So maybe next year, guys. So stay tuned for that. Then we have tea towels, can coolers, and such. Hey, I am definitely liking it. And there you go. Searching for my shadow daddy. That is absolutely super cool, guys. I love cool, quirky things like that here at cons. But guys, you gotta absolutely love it. And again, if you want to check out more of these very cool items here at Dead Darling Boutique, where. Okay, travelers, we are back here for day 2, which is Saturday at the Tulsa Horror Con. It's going to be a fun day, guys. You know, Saturday is always the super busy day. There are a few panels that I want to go see. I definitely want to check out the cosplay contest. You know, we got to bring the excellent cosplay to you guys. And then lastly, we're just going to go and see what else, you know, that's fun happening at the con. So come with me, travelers, and let's see what fun stuff is happening. Okay, travelers, we are at the table of Stephen W. Scott, and those of you that remember my OKC Horror Con video will remember Stephen, and he was promoting his book here and selling it, The Demon Inside Me, and we mentioned how it was like very awesome premise in regards to exorcism related horror and possession related horror, and how it has a unique perspective from the boy's point of view. So that's very awesome. And he's here, and he has a previous book here, Abandoned, that he has here with him, and he has a new book that will be coming out in March of 2025. And guys, check out this premise. Now, you guys know what to do. It's a lot of text, so go ahead and pause the video, read through it, and tell me that does not seem like a very, very cool read. So, Stephen, that's very awesome. How are you enjoying your Tulsa Horror Con so far?
It's been very surprisingly doing well. I couldn't believe how many I sold last night.
That's an awesome time here, definitely. And you have a lot of great stuff here for us in regards to your literature. But could you tell us about the new book? Do you hear what I hear that will be coming out?
Well, like I was just telling you a minute ago, I actually wrote this one, Do You Hear What I Hear before I wrote The Demon Inside Me. And while I was writing it is how I got the inspiration. Because I was wondering what goes on in the mind of someone who's going through a demonic possession. And that's what got me to write The Demon Inside Me. I thought that was a usual premise. Because you never see it from the inside out. It's always from the outside in.
Right.
In fact, Oliver Robbins is here, who was in the Poltergeist movie.
Yep.
He and I were discussing it, and he was thrilled by it. He got a copy. So anyhow, and it's also, the newer one is going to introduce a couple of characters, or a few characters, and they're in the same universe as The Demon Inside Me. So this is going to help kick off the sequel to The Demon Inside Me next fall, which will be the first of 3 in the Blind Faith series, is what I'm calling it.
The Blind Faith series, guys, gotta love that.
Yeah.
You guys that have watched my channel know I'm a big fan of, you know, thematic, you know, films and books that are connected in a way. It doesn't necessarily have to be direct sequels, but if the theme is there, just like with John Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy or Fulci's The Gates of Hell trilogy, I love those types of things. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what more you have to do with this ongoing story and saga that you have built for us with the Blind Faith saga, for sure.
Well, I will say one thing. I'm also going to include a book I wrote in the 2000s that I've connected to these. And I can't wait to get the ending. It's going to be a wonderful finish for a trilogy. And because you got some families that are connected, and I don't want to reveal too much. I'm just going to say it's a very satisfying ending. And the second one in the series, you're going to find out the rules between vampires and people who are possessed by demons.
Oh, wow. Well, that definitely sounds like a treat. So, travelers, I know you're just as intrigued as I am. So, guys, if you are very interested in finding out more information what Stephen has for us, go ahead. You have his website right there. You have his email right there, his Instagram. And those of you,
that's my author page on Amazon.
Awesome, guys. You have 2 QR codes right there, guys. Go ahead and take advantage of that. Check out some more goodies that Stephen has in store for you guys. All right, guys, we're with this guy, and you know we're having a blast here at Tulsa Horror Con, guys. So, hate you missed out. You're up to all types of holiday fun.
Let's put those guys on payroll. Yeah. We're in Oklahoma, about 6-pack of pizza, we're good. All right, so what do we got? What do we got? What do you think? Who's got the first question? See, this is going to be a good one because I'm not going to have to ask questions like I did last time. So you're going to start. Oh, yeah. All right, you're going to be second. This guy's first, right? This guy's first.
I got a 2-part question.
One right now. She'll go and then you come back.
All right.
Do it that way.
revitalize and reimagine the slasher?
Yeah, that's a great question. And when we did Scream, which was 96, was when we, I got involved with it in 95, actually rolled some cameras in 96, got released in 96. And Kevin Williamson and Les, it wasn't that horror was bad back then, okay, but the genre was boring, and there wasn't anything new coming out of the woodwork. It all had fit into the, this mold, right? There's this cookie cutter stuff. And so when Scream came out, it was the first time a film that looked at itself and laughed at itself. It involved other, they're talking about other films within a film. That had never been done before. So it took the genre and kind of, it was a little bit of a satire, a little bit of parody. If you look at Scream, even back then, they call it a horror movie. It's more of a thriller, right? Because by today's standard, it's PG, right? And it's a great gateway. I call it a gateway horror film. Like, here's a quick anecdote. The youngest confirmed by me, because I was actually talking to this lady at that point. Guess what the youngest on purpose, credit to credit, child I've ever seen Scream that I know of, personally involved, so to speak. Because it was like, Scream to me, I'm a pretty conservative guy. Like, if you got a 12-year-old, 10 to 12, like today's standards, not 96 standards, it's like, okay, you can probably rock Scream. All right, because it's not that bad comparatively. Terrifying. But, two. I'm like, wow, two, maybe. Mother of the Year more good. So, it's really cool to be part of that. And super blessed, right? So, we turn the genre upside down. Let's hit home. Here we are, almost 30 years later. We're going to be 30 in 2026. And you're going to bless enough to be talking to you guys about 30 years after I did it. And the franchise is healthy. We're 60, 7's on the way. They'll be here next year. So it's going to be pretty cool stuff. No pressure on Kevin. I don't expect him to be a product. He's got a true DNA. That's great. So we'll see what happens. All right, who's next? Back over. We're the second part.
That was the first one.
All right, we're going here. No pressure.
What is your favorite scary movie?
Yeah, that's
What's
right.
your favorite obscure horror film?
Ooh, obscure. All right, so like I'm an old black and white person. I mean, that's where I started my own. Right? So like my go-to, like I will cancel plans if I know that creature's got blood. So I grew up with it. So all the Universal, and all that stuff. So obscure. There was a B-horror, I think it was in the 80s. And me and my friends back then, we'd go off school, we're in Southern California, go to In-N-Out, go by the video store and buy racks, rent racks, B-horror VHS at this page. And the cheesier the practical horror, the cheesier the effects were, like when you have ketchup, stuff like that, the cheesier that was, the more we got. And we would just laugh our eyes out and have a great time. So even to this day, if I see like cheesy effects, love that stuff. There was not super scary. There was a horror band that went out that time. It's called Beast Theater. And cheesy, great horror flick. And when as the guy ends up exploding, before he explodes, he takes his latex and the head turns into a shape of football. Just terrible effects. And it was terrible. And we were just laughing at the blast. It was called the Beast Theater, so go check it out. I have no idea what it's streaming, but if you dial that one, it's good question. I don't know. I'm doing
It's kind of an issue. The first question was how do you feel about Ghostface being up there as now an icon with Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers and all of them? You see posters of all these different icons, and Ghostface is right in the middle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? And you look at that modern take on it, and you take a look at the old school, going back to Universal, right? Look at the Universal, the original five, right? The same thing, it's just a modern interpretation of that. Because those five are the original dudes from back in that day, 100 years old. And here we are, almost 100 years old. I think we was almost 28. And I brag because my very first cosplay was used to see Star Wars 9/11. So that was my first cosplay. When was 9/11? About 84?
84. Yeah. Yep.
That was your first one?
Yeah, so that was the first time I went to the West, and then the second year, season, so I look at that and I'm like, okay, well, the West has 2 out of those, 2 out of the 5, pretty good. Good numbers. And this is their half. And I'm protected with Ghostface in the sense that it's my job having a true DNA in the lineage of what he was and what it started out as. It's my job to keep that in perspective and true and so it's really cool to be like in that comic instead of you know, and the new ones you know, art's hitting hard right now, Terrified 3, so we'll either be part of that 3 or part of that 5, you know, we'll come on to 6, or maybe we'll start another 5, 3, whatever.
Well, he's definitely 6 now because when a horror movie beats Marvel, I mean a DC movie, you know it's got to be he's in it now. I mean, that's awesome. I'm happy to see that.
You know, I don't know if he's a good guy. Yeah, I've talked to him since, you know, 2 came out, 2 and all that stuff. I'm really proud of him what he did. Because he had a lot of pressure, guys. You don't realize how rough this business is. It's a tough business. He had a huge amount of pressure with big money thrown at him to basically take over all the merchandise and all the licenses and everything. And he basically was like, no, I'm doing my thing. Stuck to his guns and just square him off. Look, $100 million later, he owns all that. It's all in. So I hope he retires and sends me Christmas cards from the box. But he did it without the studios. And big fan of the independent watching. That's what acting wise, that's all I do.
We were talking about independence and in the last panel, thinking that you know they're taking over.
Yeah, they are.
You know, in the comic industry, the same thing. Independents are taking over.
I love it.
That's where a lot of movies are coming from.
Yep.
But seeing the independent movies coming out, I think it's incredible what's going on.
Well, it's really refreshing. You know, for me, you know, it takes me back to the time I was film school. It takes me back to the time I was first really getting into business, you know, acting and stuff. And we're like, we got the guerrilla family, making a bunch of films, and we couldn't listen, you know, even like an independent now, you know, they can't afford permits and all this stuff. So we'd go down to LA and shoot for the second minute. And we had a permit that would give us like 1 city street. And we would just take off. we shoot the whole sequence down in LA on a Sunday when the streets were empty. Yeah, we would have permits for that. We would pay. It was so fun. We just take a shot, hit it, and move, and stick and run. Yeah, and even to this day, independent films are done. So it's cool. I love that because it takes me back to that fun, full throttle time of my career. Yeah, we're eating off tacos. That's great.
When taco trucks are cool.
Yeah, exactly.
They're cool now. So let's talk about the beginning because you've been in the film industry for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, everybody really knows you just free.
Yeah, I mean that was, you know, I mean I was a 10-year overnight sensation, right? And in my career, my very first extra. So the way I broke into the film, right, guys, is I became an extra, so I could get on the sets to meet the stunt guys and the stunt coordinators. You know, because I started off as a stunt, and I was moving as an actor second. When the screen came up, I just reversed so I did my very first film as an extra was John Carpenter's The Thing, right? Classic. Not the actor. He did John Carpenter's Christine, right? 1980.
So you got more life for having you said the theme.
No, I love it.
Then you just crushed it when you said.
Well, but here's the thing, right? So I look at John Carpenter, and back then, it's not that's tough. I knew it was like out there, like it was something. So I started off, so my very first official extras was on Christina. And that was with John Cryer. And that was with Tony Seeley. Tony, later on, became Wes's second year. Alexander Paul for the later, was the actors on that, so we could throw a day on it. And a bunch of the stunt guys, I worked with later too. I had no idea who they were at the time. So it's really actually a pivotal piece of movie history. So that's how I started flat hustling.
Were you retired?
I was fat catching bass. I was happy. And they've done another real for the 25th stuff. So when we have 25th Street reunion stuff that popped up, they found me sitting down there in Texas. They're like, hey, come on out, sign some autographs, and people want to meet you. And I'm like, I had no idea this world existed. And like I said, I went out and did a Oregon in Cincinnati. Wow, that was it. And I reconnected with Tony. Right? And I'm like, well, that's kind of fun. Let's do that. And I had been on, been on the road for the last about 3 years, whatever that was. And so, yeah, that was
Horror conventions are getting bigger and bigger. It seems like, I know they're looking at putting maybe to scale.
It's probably be a good market. So, it takes a lot to do these things. I appreciate what it takes to make those movies. Everybody thinks it's like, hey, let's go have a Horror Con, PopCon, Comic-Con, or anime. It is so much work and a huge gamble. You got to be a gambler. So, you put the big money out on the front end, and you're betting that all these people are going to show up. It's crazy. All right, you got what else got?
What inspired you to join the industry?
Bad choices. So after I got out of high school, and I did industrial arts and film after high school. So I really started film back. But then we have a good military background in both sides of the family. So I could either go join the army and get a job in the army, make movies and do stunts and get a job. And I chose that because it paid better. So it was a really good time, so I was quite prepared to go in the army. Film is just a better job.
It's funny because that's the way a lot of people get in. They just so happen to stumble on it.
Yeah, but once I made the effective decision, like this is what I want to do, I worked 3 or 4 jobs at any given time. And a lot of times I worked 2 solid full-time jobs to support what I have. Hustling and trying to be snappy, trying to be an actor, trying to for years. Like I said, it's a 10-year night, 10-year overnight sensation. I started in '84, and I got my big break. Started in '82, kind of broke the bus in '84, but my big movies didn't start hitting until almost 10 years later. And then I started hitting Oscar, hit these big budget movies, and I took that time.
Do you know, since you're a stuntman, do you know the little guy from Pirates of the Caribbean, Martin Cabot? He's got several roles, but he's been a stuntman for years, longer than I know when I didn't know he was this fucking Jurassic Park and a lot of things that hardly anybody ever knew. I mean, you said you were extra. You started out as an extra just to get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
So if I want to be getting in the theater, so I need to try to become an extra. I don't want to be. It's a little different now.
Yeah, it's different now, but you still got, at the end of the day, you still got to get on the sets of people. But stunts, like from a stunt side, not from an acting side, from a stunt side, it's so specialized. These guys are so talented. They sit there and do stuff that is I couldn't even think of. Usually my biggest stunt is like falling out of the bed. And so they're so good, they're so specialized, and so dialed in, they're just incredible. And so it's much more specialized than it used to be. So I was known as like an A, and I could do a lot of kind of like, yeah, throw them in there and you can pull them out. Unless it was like super high, or something really dialed in. You know, but I could do a little bit of everything. So I was really practical handy. And that's what I was doing. So it was
What's the worst you can hurt?
Lost World, I got eaten by the nose. You guys, have you ever seen Lost World?
Yeah.
I'm definitely got it. Richard Clark. His character is Eddie Clark. This is Lost World, Jurassic Park 2. And he enjoys the protagonist in there. He gets eaten out of two dinosaurs and swimming around. That was me. After you actually left the church. And that hurt. It was very good. You know, it was all rehearsed. It was like, you know, we put it all together. We shoot it. Fortunately, we shot it on Friday. And it works like when you do big stunts, at least for me, it's all calm. I have adrenaline on the back end, maybe a little bit on the front, not too much. Because when you're doing big stunts, it just unfolds around. You're like, oh yeah, here's this, it comes up, and there's an explosion, and we're supposed to have it, it's supposed to fly here, blah, blah, blah. And it's a thank you man, it's a game, because it's big, right? And so all this comes together, and it pulls me out, it does this, and it's like, oh yeah, this is feeling good, it's all coming together. I hear Spielberg from across the stage, he goes, swing him harder. Right? I'm glad you couldn't see my eyes because I looked like some kind of cartoon. I'm like, ruh-roh. And the puppeteer takes off, right? And the G-force has got so radical that I'm literally straight out from this actor's mouth. You don't see this in the film, you cut it down. But the actual take, it's so violent that the G-force had to straight out. And it got so violent, so the last time, right before they get a cut, puts it in his mouth, hanging by my knee, right? Straight out, he swings me around, I'm just hanging off the ride. Basically took my right foot and slapped me inside his mouth. So as I'm coming around, I'm like, yeah, that's gonna hurt. And I remember coming around, and this big old eyeball up there, it's whack, and I go, that hurt. I go bouncing out, and he goes, yeah, cut. And I'm like, oh, I'm wrong now. And nothing was broken, the tissue. From my hamstrings all the way down to my toes was black and blue, huge swelling. That happens on Friday, right? And I'm old school that, you know, I got it from the old school Cowboys. So I suck it up, I take a handful of the leg, get my staff. I show up at work on Monday, I can't walk. Now literally I can't walk. So I show up like an hour early, get to my room, we check in, everybody knows I'm John. From Spielberg down, we're like, all right, you cowboyed up. So they literally put me like, remember the scene where the big like SUV station things hanging out the cliff, right? It's not like it's hanging out. So we have cables running all over that day. We're like, hey, go sit up on top of that. So I literally sat on top of that sequence for 2 weeks and just did nothing but watch cables until I could kind of think. So they put me up there, and then like they finished that like, hey, do you think you've got to take 2 steps and fall for anybody who dives in chasing? So then it's barely walks, they want to take like 2 steps and fall. We really shot that. So now I'm out. So they rehabbed me on the show for like 2 months. Instead of just because it was too stupid to go on. So they took care of me, kept me on the whole show for 2-3 months. It was a great show. But yeah, that one.
Well, we'll turn this into a Jurassic Park.
Scream. Let's what did we got? Scream. We got Jurassic Park. We got it right there. What else we got?
What's your favorite memory or moment from the set while you were filming
on screen? I enjoyed my time with Principal Henry.
Yeah.
Right? Only time in my career I have 30 plus years of doing acting and stunts and working with big leagues and all that. Great career. I get in there and I'm in full wardrobe, you know, me there, great guy. And I don't know if you all had a chance to have him sign for it, but Henry's not here. And here's, I grew up in Happiness. I mean, he was like 12 years of an iconic TV show. He's the guy. And here's the font. And I'm just the biggest freaking geek. I fanboy. So I feel the professionalism went right out the door. Right? So I was supposed to kill him, as you guys see in the screen when I get into it. Right? Well, Henry's about And he goes, God, I'm like, and I own it. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just like, but it's him. I'm talking to Wes, like, but it's the Fonz. And so we do like another drink, and I'm being intimidated. So Henry, I'm like, here's how cool this is. Here's how big the road is. He goes, and we're in that little closet area, right? Remember the principal's office, so I pop out and back. Right? He's behind it, and he goes back in, and I didn't realize at the time, but he goes back in the principal, right? And he starts clicking. He's getting in my face, and it's just like, and after, he's like, you gotta keep his attention. And he starts talking. He starts digging out. And I'm like, what's he doing, right? And then finally it clicks to me, like, oh, it's him. And I'm like, oh. So I click back into ghost face. Now he's talking ghost face. And I'm like, and man, so here we are, take 3 is what you guys see in the movie, right? Right? Man, I got him like a fish big time on that But the point was, so he got me back in that character hard enough to give him the energy, right, back in the actor, to give me what he needed to have that movie. And for him to sit there and see that on the fly, give me that direction. I'd say with the rest of my career. That's how I do that. So I really enjoyed the time. He gave some moving tools as an actor that he kept my stories. So I cannot wait to. Yeah, I have an original '96 poster. It has everything signature on it, but and so I can't wait to see him again and remind him of his experience. Like he and I always, we're like one people. Like I was in Chicago like last year, he came to me. And he was someplace this year, and I came to him. And then he was in LA, and I was in Texas. I mean, I always miss him. One of the days I'm not, probably just have to shut up and get on the jet and do it like everybody else doesn't show up, right? So, yeah, I really enjoyed that scene. It was so, it gave me tools. I still use it all the time. Good lesson, great guy. And such a gracious guy. Genuinely, he's very genuine. Yeah, he's really good.
Guys, check out this awesome cosplay of Player 5 from Stream. This is one of the little travelers here, Jason, and he looks absolutely amazing. I mean, hey, his parents did him right. His name is Jason Frederick, and hey, he is ready to get into the cosplay contest. He's going to represent.
What is Rob Zombie's contact information?
Oh,
What is
Felicity.
his real name?
Oh, we got Felicity in the
Mike
house.
Rob Z. Yeah. And here's Dave Sheridan. All right.
Woo!
Just chocolate bar with these with celebrities here. Okay, well that was a good question. Yeah.
Okay, I was told I had to ask this question here.
Okay.
So, what happens to Dr. Satan and why is he not in Devil's Rejects?
He technically is in Devil's Rejects, but he got cut out. It's in the deleted scenes on the DVD. Yeah, there's a Rosario Dawson scene. She plays my girlfriend.
Yeah, he's the one that asked these questions when he asked.
Well, Rob says that Dr. Satan didn't fit any longer as a tone. Yeah. Sherry Zombie says that she wanted Rosario Dawson kind of because she was jealous. I'm bringing that up, but I can't. Because that's what I do.
You know, that was the thing, that apparently that they decided to go more gritty and real.
Yeah.
And
Once they saw me.
Dr. Satan looked a little too far-fetched. That, in fact, there was also, Tiny had a line at the end of Devil's Rejects. Or he had something.
He said, "Happy Trails."
No, I think he said something like, no, or something.
He did say no.
Yeah,
he said
yes,
was he walking back in?
Yes, because we went and said, "Come on, Tiny, let's drive away from the burning house." And he went like, "No," or "This is my home," or "Home," or something.
That's exactly how Matthew talked to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was not his last
Oh.
film. There was a filming film by a gentleman by the name of Andrew Getty.
Oh, thank God.
Made a movie called Storyteller, based on the nightmare. Quite brilliant, actually. And Sean Patrick, Flannery, and Dita Myers, I know this is kind of about Rejects, but I just wanted to honor him because
Yeah, and you were in it too, by the way.
when he met Andrew, Andrew said, "I want you to be in my film." And there's a scene, it's called The Evil Within. Give it under the point being this. Sean Patrick Flannery thinks he sees his therapist, and he bumps into Tiny, which is actually man or woman. And Matthew gets up and says the following: "Thank you so very much. I love it when I'm having a nice time at lunch and someone like you comes along and bumps me. I spill my drink on myself. And I see you looking at me. I know what your thoughts are in your head. What's wrong with you? Why do you look like this?" We went on and on and on. Andrew Getty had so much humanity. He let Matthew write his own lines because he wanted to show the difference between how people perceive and how people really are. So if you haven't seen the Evil Within, it's worth a look because you'll get a chance to see that beautiful moment. And that was one of the last moments before we lost that.
So did he shoot that after Devil's Rejects as well then? He actually shot it after Devil's Rejects too? Or just came out after?
Well, he was in Devil's Rejects, and Getty hired him to be in.
So he shot it after? Yeah. What 3 actors are in Bubble Boy that's also in Devil's Rejects? Anybody know? 3 actors in Bubble Boy that are in Devil's Rejects.
Somebody's Googling it right now.
It's me, Matthew, and Trey. Yeah, that was my first film. Bubble Boy.
Here we go. We start with Devil's Rejects, and we're underway.
Lots of similarities.
So, anybody else have another? Oh, yes.
So, for all of you, what was your favorite scene to do in Devil's Rejects?
Say that again.
Your favorite scene amongst all of you individual, what was your favorite scene in Devil's Rejects?
The Groucho Marx movie expert scene when he grabs him in, because that actor really did know his stuff, and he was not aware Rob did not make him aware that he was going to jump up and Elvis Presley and stuff like that. And I actually made him a spit take, which was funny because it was a whole thing about Groucho Marx. Because at the end of the whole thing, I went, how do you spell skidoo? Which was the first thing the guy said after the whole thing. It looked like I'm writing, but I'm still on the first line that the notes that he said. And he spit take on the monitor, which is then comes full circle with Groucho Marx. How about you? What was the favorite scene that you got to shoot or watched shooting from the trailer, or were on call or on hold and they shot you? You were not involved in all this.
6 months of your life where Devil's Rejects intersect. My favorite scene in Devil's Rejects?
No, that you shot though, right?
Oh, you gotta be part of it.
You gotta be part of it. It would not be you guys together. That's it. Don't go there. Oh no. Can you come back to me? Yeah. I know when you see the bill. That's my favorite scene in the movie. Go for it. That chicken fucking scenes.
I liked the hotel. You know, there was so much, so many layers in that. It was so dark and so just really tense. It was uncomfortable, and that wasn't so pleasant. But the payoff was. So I kind of appreciate all the stuff we did in the hotel. From the minute that they burst in and Brian Posehn gets executed to let's go for a walk all the way, the play all the way through there. It was just amazing. So I think I really appreciated that. It was a lot of work, to be honest. Except for Jeffrey Lewis, he just played through.
What about Steve Railsback? He's in that too. I showed up with Steve Railsback. It's like the cast is amazing. Right? I didn't even know Steve Railsback was being used.
I love Steve Railsback. Yeah, for me it was also, I mean, there was a lot of fun stuff. Certainly, walking you guys to the execution place. We actually shot, turned out to be Lou and Jeffrey Lewis's last scene on an old chicken farm. And the chicken farm had been abandoned. It was out in Lancaster, California. It was very hot. Well, the chickens didn't leave. They actually remained behind, and then they turned into chicken dust. And we were rolling in chicken dust, which was pretty funky. But and then of course, we had. It was an amazing. I got to say that scene, which was a fight with me and Jeffrey and Lou. The fight itself was choreographed by our stunt coordinator, Kane Hodder. Woo! Yeah, Kane did such an amazing job of coordinating that fight. It was amazing, except for the real knife that moment. But yeah, Kane saying, "Was I going to stab you with a real knife?"
I mean, Rob just never called cut. Right?
Yeah.
Waiting for the real cut.
Yeah, the real cut, a real knife. Director's cut. Just kind of snuck it in, just kind of get a little verisimilitude. But that was an amazing scene. We did some improv. There were some very happy moments. One of them was when we were out in the desert. It's late spring, early summer in Lancaster. It's fucking hot, and I'm standing over Jeffrey Lewis, and he's going, bless the bunnies, bless the, and then all of a sudden I feel, I pretend to feel like, oh God Almighty, I feel the Holy Spirit, which I was, kind of making up. And then I look at him, and there's still a moment where there was this God-sent gust of wind, and I blew the hair over my face, so I was able to go, I am the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's work. That wind blowing that hair over my face, I would never have had that dramatic moment. So that was my favorite part. Michael?
We call that the Lancaster fart.
It's amazing. Sometimes you just have a moment like what Bill was explaining. Moments arrive. My favorite scene actually is the very ending when it's a slow motion, overcranked, overexposed film and they're in the car getting shot. I thought that was, as far as cinematic, it was just a heck of a homage. It was just totally mind-boggling. As far as the scenes that I'm in, yeah, there were droid spots. I had just a few scenes, but actually, buying the chickens was just hilarious. That guy was a hillbilly comedian, and he went off script. The first time when you do a take, you do it the way it's written in the script. That's how professionals do it. This guy was not professional, and he was just so happy to be on camera. I'm standing next to Ken Florian, and we're just standing there like a bunch of statues waiting for this guy to shut the F up. And then he started, going on and on and on and gyrating, and I'm looking out the corner, and I see Rob, by the monitor, and he's just going, go with it. So I'm going, okay, he's cutting my options down to, what's going to kill this SOB? There's kids in the room, so I'm not saying that's how it works. But, so I said, okay, do an angry Klingon. So I went nuts. That's what I did. And then, I gave the line to Ken, Rhode Island Red. So, thank you, I have a line. Yeah, I can respond to that. Rhode Island Red, yeah, it's pretty good. But there are moments, but I think it's one of his best films. And for me, getting to work with family over decades and decades of knowing one another is a real treat. So if you're in the biz and you're just starting out, just show up, be a pro, and keep in touch, because we're not always here forever. But I love that song.
Well, I plan to be one of them. I just want to mention one more, speaking of which, the great Sid Haig, the late great Sid Haig.
Woo! Yeah!
Anyway, we had, we're in that final scene where we're about to, we see the Rugsville sheriffs with Dave and everybody, they're lined up, they blockaded the road, they got guns on us, and we decide, let's just go for it. And so, I have holes in my hands because of, William Forsythe nailing my hands to a chair. So I'm in rough shape, although I'm driving. And on the front seat are all the guns, and in the back, of course, is Baby and Captain Spaulding. And I remember the first thing I did was to, I gave, actually there were two guns. There was a gun, and then there was like a shotgun. And I remember, giving the pistol to Baby. And then there was the question of, do I give Captain Spaulding, the gun, or do I take it, as it's a macho moment. And in that moment, I looked at Sid and I just thought, I'm going to honor him, as a character with that rifle. And I remember, picking up a shotgun, whatever it was, and kind of leaning over and handing it to Sid. And there was a moment, there was a connection that the camera didn't pick up. Because there is that, sometimes there's just that kind of vibe or that motion, that emotion. And it was really a great moment for me, because Sid got it, he appreciated, Captain Spaulding appreciated being handed the big gun. And that was a magic moment for me and Sid, I suspect, but something that, doesn't actually, get seen in the movie, so that was cool too, so.
Sid told me the same story, but he was looking at like a cactus.
You mean like Sid didn't give a shit? Is that what you're implying?
His version was
the next day. It's a heartfelt story. Stuck it on a cactus. All right, it's time for number 5. What's that question?
Who is your least favorite person to work with, whether it be behind the camera or on set?
The least favorite person to work with? Now, is this on the Devil's Rejects?
Loaded question.
You mean in our lives?
Number 5.
And you choose.
In the Devil's Rejects, you mean?
You.
Any other, every movie I've ever done? Shit, I'm gonna go last. I didn't like that sound guy. Fred. Every time he'd mic you up, he used the wrong tape. Sound guy. Watch out for sound.
The tape that tore your nipples off.
Sound guy, and there was Fred.
Yeah.
That was rejects. Wasn't an easy.
You know why I don't know about him anymore?
I didn't like it.
That's right.
There you go. Oh yeah, here's your mic with it. Oh, I've got it. Yeah, good thing.
When working on in the field that we do, sometimes we use firearms, and I just want to take a quick moment to say, I miss you, brother, Brandon Lee.
Woo, yes. Woo.
The most person I could work with was people that were not safe with firearms.
Yes.
I was an expert. I was reloaded at 12 years old. I qualified with the Army as a sniper, etc. Bottom line is this. Brandon should be here today with us. And in North Carolina, it's a right to work state. I'm a union guy. But the union contract in that state says after so many weeks of production, they can save money and actually, maybe let a local person have a job. So they hired an armorer. And it was not a conspiracy yet. What happened was, real quick, what happened was, they had a close-up of the revolver. You see the barrel and you see the bullets. Those were bullet tips that were glued to casings that were stuck with filler. Then he ejected them. And it was at night, and he counts 6, but one of the bullet tips broke off from the glue, and it was in the cylinder. Then he put full charge blanks in it. If you are shooters, nothing protrudes past the brass. Now you have a dangerous situation. Then he took the revolver and handed it to Michael Massey. And Michael made a mistake of aiming at Brandon, big mistake, but you're supposed to take a flashlight and count to 7, the barrel and 6 in the chamber. Didn't do that. So that being said, it was a tragedy. But the person that I hated to work with was the guy that shot me in the face. I was on a film with Kenny Rogers, the gambler, and I tell a guy, turn around real slow. He turns around and he shoots me with a blank, aimed it right in my eye, went in my eye. And I remember, I said, I better take the hit to the floor because I don't want to do a second take. And it gets better, so then they go, okay, cut, print. That means they're going to use it.
Right.
And so they go, is everybody okay? And I go, no, I'm not okay. I want a driver and I want to go to the emergency room right now. And you know what this big guy with the gun said to me? I didn't point it at you, man. What's your effing problem? And at that point, when like Cleveland being angry, I'm the same kind of guy in real life. Once you cross that line, and I started walking toward him. My dad being a surgeon, and I've studied anatomy. I was thinking eyeball, nose, cheek, you know the drill. And as I'm walking toward the guy, I'm on automatic. And I remember hollering loud as I could out to the brothers. That's what we call our Teamster drivers, we call brothers. And I said, grab me, and grab me now, and I'm not joking. The guy's coming toward me, and all I'm thinking of is, what would Mosley do? Eyeball or nose or cheek? Okay. And they took me away, so I'm in the car getting ready to go to the emergency room, and guess what? The second AD with the clipboard is chasing me going, you gotta sign out!
Oh, God.
No, I'm OT. So, question in a long, roundabout way. A person who didn't follow protocol and made an unsafe situation for how we work. Because we are all family and we look out for one another. And if you don't do that, we're in big fucking trouble.
Yes.
See what you started here, kid? That is a great question. I was on Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. I played Ricky, the Santa Claus killer. So, by the way, happy holidays. And there was the makeup person was a little rough on me. And at one point, I had like a ruined eye. I mean, it was the makeup, and I had like a brain cap. I had this like looked like it was like a clear plastic bowl with my rubber brain inside, a bunch of orange juice and little lights that blinked on and off. It was called the brain cap, I called it. And I also had this kind of ruined eye, and I remember the makeup person was, had removed my brain cap, and then, there was this patch under my eye that looked like a scar, but it was like rubber. And I remember she actually just, she was in a hurry, so she just grabbed it and just tore it off my face. And without thinking, I elbowed her right in the gut. So I guess that would probably qualify as one of the least favorite people. So, Lou?
The Devil's Reject. I just read today.
Well, that's good. All right. Yogi? Yeah, Dave?
I don't know. I have such a good time shooting,
Yeah. Dave's still looking for work, so he's going to be saying. We're all retired.
I've never had
a shit.
I've really never had that experience.
That's good.
In 72 years. So.
You're 72?
72. 7 or 2.
Well, that's good.
There is a moment that reads actually with the sheriff,
William Forsythe.
has Sid Haig's,
Ken
Corey's finger in the door jam, and he really forced it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, he got a little.
Yes, he said.
Yeah.
That's why Ken didn't know
He still does.
No, he couldn't with the app.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. He was trying to text, but his finger didn't work. Okay, do we have another question?
One more thing, just food for thought.
Oh, what's that?
Hey, hold on a second. Shut up!
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
If you don't have a least favorite, wouldn't that just mean that you're the least favorite?
I was waiting for this.
Do a podcast called Number 5. Okay, any other questions? Oh, yeah.
So how did each of you get involved with the project? What were the first, how did you take part, and what made you yes?
Okay, well, that is a question that I will not have to answer. My answer is sitting next to you.
Rob was a big fan of the Hills Have Eyes and various things I worked on, and he called my manager, Judy Cox, and said, I want Michael in this film. And I said, well, Bill has to be the same manager. And I said, well, that's a yes. So, I didn't know who Rob was, but I was very impressed. The guy's professional. He's got a great collection of DVDs. Are you kidding? He's got the Monster from the Black Lagoon. He has creatures at his home, right?
He's haunted mansion. He's got like stretch artwork.
He'd be a collector.
He's got his stuff over
Yeah,
there.
he does it. Totally got it. So anyway, it's like, you get a job offer, and I say, I'm working with my friends. Oh, hell yes. So there we went.
Luke?
I actually think there's only one of us that's been in House of a Thousand Corpses. I think. And I think that.
I think we know.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the House of a Thousand.
No, he said I think that how did you get involved in Devil's Rejects?
Oh, Devil's Rejects. That is. Good morning, Luke. I had the old-fashioned way. I had to audition. I had to go in and audition for Adam Banjo, which I had never read a script like that before. I was like, are you kidding me? And because the very first, page 1 is some giant dragging a naked girl across the forest. And I'm like, they can't do that. That's ridiculous. Who is this? But I knew the casting director, Monica Nicholson, who cast me before, and she said, I think this is cool. And I went down to Mariner News office, and I sat with two guys. One's name was Steve Zahn, and another was Jeremy Davies. And you might have read for Adam as well.
No, I never read for him.
And I was like, holy cow, these guys are these are real players. And I had to bring my A game. and it was just an audition process. But when it got close, I went to Austin and Monica called and said, "It looks like it's leaning towards you," and I'm like, "Uh-oh." And I called a friend of mine, because I was a little nervous. I'd never done a horror movie. And I called a friend of mine who had done this movie called House of Corpses. And I said, "Hey, Walter," because I'm a good Christian boy in the South, right? I'm not going to go work with this devil worshiper. And Walter Goggins told me, "Oh, come on, man. This guy's, Rob's great. He's going to be amazing to work with, and friend for life." And that was true. And that is my favorite scene in 1,000 Corpses, is that I think that is such a poetic scene. It's one of my favorite. I hope not. It was fantastic. Everybody knows the scene of the execution at the end, and that's Walton. Shameless plug, we can see him on Fallout and all kinds of things he's doing well. But yeah, that was very cool. I did amazingly, yeah.
Well, we're on him. So, how soon after getting cast did you do the music? And how
way later. Yeah, way later. Rob had a radio show, 101. He and Steve Jones, who did the Jones' Jukebox and the Sex Pistols. And Rob was like, "You do some music, right?" And I'm like, "A little, verily." And he said, "Do you think you could do a bluegrass album for Banjo and Sullivan?" And I'm like, "I got some people who can help me do it, yeah." And so me and my buddy wrote 8 songs that were very Randy Newman, double entendre for Banjo and Sullivan. I'm at home getting hammered while she's out getting nailed. I don't give a truck. She didn't like me, but she loved my money. Dick Sue.
That's my favorite.
And so they're all double entendre, and we did get a parental advisory. We got a record deal out of Universal on Rhino,
Nice.
and we cut it in Perth, at Willie Nelson's studio. At that time, they were the Dixie Chicks. Now they're just the Chicks, and back up. Mindy Barnett. And Rob played. So I had a bunch of hot tubs.
Yeah. I coached the boys lacrosse at high school, and we have an annual party, and it was all the boys in the hot tub. Those last one lines was like, "Dig soup," and they were like, "What does that mean?" Like, what's... And the parents were like, I was like, "Yeah, did I go too far?" And they were like, "I'm sorry, it's from a movie."
The point is, Rob started playing it on 101. And
songs.
And I found this free-thinking, outside-the-box 1970s band that opened up for the Allman Brothers, and people would call in and go, "Oh yeah, we used to see Banjo and Sullivan in Florida all the time." And then, of course, the movie comes out. Womp womp. But yeah, it was really fun.
Ooh. Okay. Well, Rob saw me in Ghost World, and he liked me in Ghost World, and so he told. It was really Mary the New, because she already cast me in like scary movies and stuff like that, and it was like a yes and then I came in and I did read them. I read, but they said, "Oh, no, and you weren't there either." Somebody else did read for sure, because he's posted these things, and I forget who it was, because they came up and told him, like, the actor said, "Oh, I went for it." And then he posted your audition, and now I saw him, well, you got it, really good. So, yeah, that was it. And luckily I had long hair like this, because I was in the band Stone.
Yeah.
So that also, like, he was like, "Oh, that's great." I like the feathered hair. If you wanted like a ship's kind of. No, it wasn't so long. No, it wasn't. I was growing out from it. So I was getting right there. Yeah. It was good. Yeah, thanks. I'm trying to go for a Ponch and John kind of chips.
And your incredible mullet in that, what was it, the Chili Peppers video?
Yeah, Ghost. Well, that was from Ghost World. They saw Ghost World too. I reprise the character.
That was the first time I ever saw it. I like that. It's just,
Can I tell the first time I ever saw you? So, no, not on screen actually, but in person. So Rob had a barbecue at his house. Remember that? So before we shot, and so Bill grew his beard out with the wig, so he shaved his head. So he had no hair, gnarly beard, and everybody else, we're all like hamburgers, hanging out, talking, and he's in the pool by himself. No, he was just like floating on one of those like inner tubey things in like cut off, like really short cut off jeans. Oh yeah, cut off jeans. I think he said you borrowed them from Rob. I don't remember if that's true. And that was kind of like, I was like, who's out in the pool? Oh, that's Bill Mosley. And he was just like, it's like a loner. Yeah, but she wasn't in the pool. No, that's true. She was by himself. Yeah. And Rob just said, go in the arcade. Go in the pool. Yeah, that's what he said. He goes, you want to go in the pool? I go, no.
Well, travelers, people are packing up in regards to the vendors. It's been a great time. Lots of celebrities, great vendors, great cosplay contest. Behind me is Dave and Felissa. They just did the Devil's Rejects panel. So it was fun just to, you know, hang out with all types of great people. Some that I've met at previous cons and even some new ones. So it's always a pleasure, guys. So I definitely look forward to seeing more events in regards to the Tulsa Horror Con in the future. Travelers, if you liked anything you saw, you know what to do. Go ahead and check those Ash Williams severed hands at me, aka a thumbs up, a like, comment in regards to anything that you saw, and if you want to stick around, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and you know, just go ahead and hit that bell so that you're notified of any new uploads. Guys, this is your travel guide, Brendan, with the Horror Green Book, signing you off, letting you know that it is scary in those streets. So let me know that you made it home safely and to have a very happy and haunted holidays.